All right, Donald Trump in Macon, Georgia tonight, his third rally of the day. I believe he has 4 tomorrow. In 48 hours, the polls will be closed and the results will start pouring in. This could very easily be the closest election in American history. Nate Silver put it this way. He calls it a pure toss-up with an advantage towards Donald Trump. What does this mean for all of you? Please assume, as I have been telling you, that your one vote will determine the outcome of this election. For those of you who voted early, I want to say thank you, because you know what? You're doing your part. But for the 80 to 90 million people, Americans, that will be voting on Election Day, please know the stakes could not be higher. Coming up, we're going to get to the latest polls from key battleground states around the country. We have a lot of polling today with some of the top pollsters in the country. We begin with an unfortunate truth about today's radical, extreme, Democratic, Socialist, Marxist Party. For most Democrats, power is the only thing that matters. That's it. Look at Kamala Harris. She doesn't have a plan to improve your life for months. She didn't even have a single policy proposal on her website until her poll numbers started to take a dive. She wouldn't talk to the press. She wouldn't answer questions. Axios is calling Kamala the, quote, no comment candidate because of her lack of transparency, her shifting positions, her vague statements, word salads on top of it. She's not putting forward good ideas because she doesn't have any. When you look at her really deeply held, principled views, she can't tell them to the American people because they're so out of the mainstream. She's not touted her own record because it's terrible. She can't run Are You Better Off Than You Were 4 years ago because you're not. Instead, she's trying to scare people, trick people, and use fear and fear-mongering into voting for her. Almost everything she is now saying is an outright lie. For example, you have probably heard Kamala praising Gen Z over and over and over again on the campaign trail. Yeah, but here's what she actually said about that 18 to 24-year-old demographic before she desperately needed their votes. Take a look.
What's the other thing we know about this population? And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
They are stupid. Now, the only thing that would make them stupid if they voted for somebody that called them stupid. Now, Kamala's not just lying about young people. She does this with every demographic in order to scare the elderly. She is lying to them and saying Donald Trump wants to upend Medicare and limit Social Security. It's an outright lie. Benefits under Donald Trump, his first term, increased, and he has pledged to never, ever touch Social Security or Medicare. It is beyond repulsive that Kamala Harris will scare old people and lie to old people like this. And in order to scare women, Kamala is out there claiming Donald Trump wants a national abortion ban. He has said over and over and over again he does not, that he wants to limit contraception. He has never said any such thing. And outlaw IVF when he said just the opposite. These are all egregious lies. The exact opposite is true. I hope women won't believe her lies. And look at this headline. The Harris campaign is now using 2 entirely different messages on Israel and Gaza, depending on whether you live in Michigan or Pennsylvania. If you live in Michigan, well, Harris is pandering to the Arab communities with lofty words about the suffering in Gaza. But if you live in Pennsylvania, the ad is all about protecting Israel's right to exist. And meanwhile, fear-mongering surrounding minority voters across the country is through the roof. But in reality, under Trump's first term, pay close attention. African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, women in the workplace, African American youth unemployment were thriving like never before. Let's take a look at the numbers from a 2020 Fox Business article. Quote, while the overall growth rate was 6.8%. Now, compare that to the 12,000 jobs just created that we found out about in the last month. 12,000? That is anemic, to say the least. Anyway, 6.8%. Real median income grew by an even greater number, 7.9% for African Americans, 7.1% for Hispanic Americans, 10.6% for Asian Americans, all record highs and record income levels. We had record low unemployment for every one of those demographic groups, record after record after record. And that's not all. In 2019, the poverty rate plummeted 1.3 percentage points to a 60-year low. Over 4.1 million people lifted out of poverty. The child poverty rate also decreased to a 6-decade low. Kamala Harris says she wants to cut taxes on the middle class. Nope. Again, she is lying. If she is elected, she has promised to let the Trump tax cuts that created that economic growth and prosperity for all demographics expire. A massive tax increase for every American, and you will be guaranteed to keep paying more money for energy, for gas, for groceries, on top of the taxes on unrealized capital gains. And no, Donald Trump demanding free and fair trade with other countries will lower prices. It will not increase them. It is not a tax. So in Kamala's first year in office, all of your taxes will go up, and your take-home pay will be far less. But if you really want to know what your life is going to be like under a Harris administration, you don't need a vivid imagination. Ask yourself basic questions, because there's going to be 80 to 90 million people voting on Tuesday. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is your border, our borders, are they more secure or are they less secure? Is the world more peaceful or more chaotic, or in Europe or in the Middle East? Do you have more money or less money in your pocket? Do your groceries, are they more expensive or are they less expensive? Are you paying more to heat and to cool your home? When you fill up your car, your truck, is gas more expensive or less expensive? About $1.50 more a gallon. Have your insurance rates gone up? Are interest rates much higher, almost doubling the cost of the average person's mortgage? What about violent crime? How's that defund, dismantle, no bail, reimagine the police thing working out? Do you feel more safe, more secure in your town and your city? Now, according to newly revised FBI numbers, violent crime is up a whopping 4.5%. These revised numbers detailed an additional 1,699 murders, 7,780 rapes, 33,459 robberies, 37,091 aggravated assaults, and according to recently released federal numbers, more than 15,000 illegal immigrants now living inside our country have been convicted or accused of murder. Meanwhile, hundreds of suspected terrorists who crossed into Harris-Biden borders unvetted, they're still living in the United States. We have terrorists here. We know they're here. We just don't know where they are. The Biden-Harris administration, this has been the biggest failure on every level. They can't run on a single program that they have implemented that has made your life better. So lies, smears, slander, besmirchment is the only thing the Harris campaign's got left. Remember, all Trump supporters, all of us, we are Nazis, fascists, racists, and garbage on top of all of that. We're just trash. And right on cue, New York's Democratic governor, Kathy Hochul, who said conservatives like me need to get on a bus and go to Florida. And I took her advice. I went on a bus and I moved to the Florida Bureau of Fox, because she's saying, Trump supporters, yeah, you're un-American. Take a look.
If you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American, because you have just trashed American values and what our country is all about over and over and over, and you will wear this on Election Day.
It's like the governor before her, Andrew Cuomo, talking about they're not New Yorkers. If they're pro-life and pro-Second Amendment, they're not New Yorkers, and there's no place in New York. He actually said it. Meanwhile, another Harris surrogate said that he wanted to slap Republicans on the ass. Go for it. Take a look.
They want another giant tax cut for the wealthy. Now, I know some of you guys are tempted to think it's macho guy. I'll tell you what, man. When I was in Scranton, we used to have a little trouble going down the plot once in a while from Greenwich. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
Sounds like a threat of violence to me. I don't know. It's better than biting off children's toes and biting children at Halloween parties. Anyway, just to keep track, according to the Harris campaign, anyone who doesn't vote for Kamala is un-American, a fascist-loving Nazi who's also a piece of garbage, and un-American now we hear from Kathy Hochul, and somebody that Joe Biden wants to slap. That's the closing message from the Harris campaign. That's why her most egregious lie to date is that she actually claims she wants to unite the country. She just wants to win the election and get more power, and she doesn't care about the state of our union. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.